Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel, because in this episode I'm going to be making a very simple timber jig to support a door that you want to be working on so that you can work hands-free. Okay, so to make this very simple, very inexpensive jig, you only need 3 pieces of timber. You need 2 pieces that are 500 millimeters or 8 inches long, 2 of them. And you need 1 piece that is 200 millimeters or 8 inches long. And I always start with the small one first. So I get my piece of 8 inch or 200 mil timber, and I come down 1/3, which would be about an inch. This is 3 by 1.5. Come down 1/3 on that end, 1/3 on this end, and then I simply strike a line in between them and chop them in half. I usually do that because it's such a small cut. I usually use a little back saw, chop. And then after I've done that, I'll go ahead and plane that surface there. I'll just plane it so that it's nice and smooth and it makes maximum contact with the door, because this is the bit that's going to touch the door. And if you don't want to, you know, mar the surface of the paint or anything like that, it's best to have that nice and smooth. After I've done that little bit and I've made my 2 little wedges, I'll then go ahead and produce this part, which is the main bit that goes on the floor and the door goes into it. All I do there is I just come along, halfway along, like that, set square, strike a little line in the middle there, and then I do something with my wedges. This wedge is 1.5 inches wide or about 35 millimeters, and it's about the same size as a door. So what I do is I take this one first and I put it as if it was a door into my mark that I've put on my piece of wood. I take my second wedge and I use that wedge shape on top of the timber to make a mark on this side, which will follow the same pattern as that wedge that I've just put in there. So once I've marked those 2 lines, I've taken the wedge away, marked a line there, marked an angled line there. All I do then, go back to my little handsaw, chop through about halfway, chop, and then I simply take a chisel and just chisel it out. Very simple, very easy, only takes a few minutes. And then I go ahead and I do the second one, rinse and repeat. They're both exactly the same. That's it. Your jig's now made. So 1 wedge with each piece of wood, pick up the door, put those 2 long ones on the ground with the square pieces like that facing the same, like that. You spread them apart, almost the full length of the door, put them on the ground. The door goes in. I generally then am standing behind it. I will then kick these 2 pieces. I'll kick them up against the door, which is now sitting here. Kick it up against like that with my foot. I'll have my wedge sitting on it like that. I'll just walk around holding the door as I go. I'll put my wedge in there like that. I kick that with my foot. That's the first one. Go up to the second one, put the wedge in place, kick that with my foot, and that's it. That door will be held there. I'm now hands-free. I can use both of my hands now usually the only 2 reasons that I'll do this with a door. One, if that door's getting stuck or it's a brand new door and I'm fitting it into the door frame, I want to plane it because it's getting stuck and I want to plane a little bit off. That's the one thing I do with it. The other thing is I'll take my little homemade mallet and my little chisel there if I want to chisel out the hinge recesses. So I'll mark my hinges, chop, or I use a router. Sometimes I'll route them out, but more often than not I just chisel them out like that. And then I'll go fit my door. Or if it's getting stuck, I'll take it off, plane it, put it back on and see if it's okay. If it's not, it's plane a bit more, whatever, it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do now, this is going to be a very quick video. I'm just going to take these blocks of wood outside, put them on the ground, grab my door, and I'm just going to give you a quick run through demo of how I put the door on there, in case of what I just said was a little bit confusing. All right, so we'll go outside now and I'll put a door in and hold it there using this little jig. Okay, so I've got my door. I want to set it up inside my jig now. I just place it on the jig, on those jigs like that. Kick it in with my foot so it's up against the square bit. Come around and put my first wedge in there. I'll stand on it with 1 foot and kick it in with the other so it won't move. Kick it in. Stand on it, wedge, kick it in. And there you are, that door will sit there like that. That's not going to move, that's stuck there. Press it in, get in there. So there you go, you might have to make a little adjustment to your wedges. Get them in there. And I can plane this door, I can do my hinges, I can plane it, and I don't have to touch it, I don't have to try and hold it with one hand and plane it with another. They'll just sit there like that all day. When I want to disassemble this jig, it's quite simple, it's just the reverse. Stand on it, kick the wedge out, stand on it, kick the wedge out. Then you can just take your door and refit it or do whatever you want with it. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very simple, easy to construct little jig. You don't even need any power tools or special equipment. It's very, very handy. I'm renovating my house and I'm about to fit 7 or 8 brand new doors into my house. That's why I've just made this jig, and that's why I wanted to share it with you, because 20 years ago when I was doing the same thing, I found it very, very frustrating trying to work that door by myself. I was clamping it to things, it was falling over, I was trying to hold it with one hand. It just wasn't a very good solution. This timber that I've used, it's not, I wouldn't call it scrap timber, this is actually a little bit of extra construction timber that I've bought. Cost me about $1 Australian at the time of uploading of this video. That's about 55 pence English or 75 cents American. That's how cheap it is. It's a few cents, and it only takes about, well, less than half an hour for you to be able to make one for yourself. So I hope this little video has been informative and maybe useful to you. If it is, or even if you've made one of these little jigs after you've seen this video, drop a comment in my comment box. Let me know how you get on. Was it useful? Was it not useful? Did it work for you? Did it make your life a little bit easier? I hope so. So that's the end of this little video, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure being with you, and I hope to see you again soon. See you later.